Hey, welcome back. This is part two, and let's get started. First things first. So I just wanted to give you a little overview about the data that we're working with. So you guys, as accountants, you guys create a whole lot of stuff in all the financial systems and metrics all over the place. When you do that and you post your vouchers, what happens next is it gets moved into databases. So it can be accessed by report makers or anyone who just needs that data. And even you're allowed to go there, and hopefully you'll be a little more comfortable by the end of this getting it yourself. So for the purpose of this tutorial, though, I just want to show you that we're just looking at the one table called dim vouchers. But let's take, for example, let's talk about Qbyte. If you created something in Qbyte, what would happen is you would post your voucher, and it would go through a process called staging. Staging kind of gets it kind of out of Qbyte and into some other tables where it can kind of be pulled in and just kind of manipulated and be ready to push into the data mart where all the data converges. Including quorum data. So they're not directly compatible, so there needs to be a little bit of tweaking along the way to make them work together. So once it gets to data mart, all that data is sort of in a condition where it's sort of normalized and equal, and it's easy to work with regardless of where you are. But before that, though, it's in various conditions. So so the Qbyte data goes through stage QFM, and the quorum data goes to stage quorum. And so these are all the tables that of data that's pulled out of those live systems and brought here. And when another process is run called marting, and that moves it into the data mart. And the data mart is where all the tables are that where everything is sort of equalized. So there's there's a lot of tables that are really cool stuff that you're allowed to grab, and if you ever need it, I'll help you find it. So dim line items is all the line items, dim org, all the orgs. But as you can see, it's not super user friendly. You need to know a little something called SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. And basically, it's just how to ask the computer, how to ask the tables to retrieve just the data that you want. So let's the data that we want is on a table called dim voucher. So we're just gonna click on that here. And by the way, this is called Snowflake. This is the system that I'm in right now. It's just a collection of databases and schemas. And so underneath dim voucher, we have all of these. It's a very big table, and these are all of the columns that are underneath it. So what we have to do is we have to ask SQL to grab what we want here. So let's what we're going to do is we want to grab everything from this table just to look at to see what it looks like. So to do that, you would do you say select and then star. Star means everything. From datamart.dimvoucher, where is sort of the parameters, and we just want to look at the accounting periods between 2012-01-01 and 2021-07-31. So we're looking at a very wide range of data. That's a lot of data, but it's very interesting. If you so I can select this query and I'm going to run it, and it's incredible how fast this actually can retrieve this much data. So it's loading down here, and there we go. This is what the data looks like when it's brought in. So it's a lot of data. It's a lot of columns. It's a lot of just a whole bunch of stuff. And so I can see 1.17 million rows, like we saw in our tutorial. And let's try to download it, and I'll show you what happens. So it's too big. It's too big, and we could probably do it, but we'd have to Frankenstein the whole thing together. It's just not worth it. So what we're going to do instead, we're just going to ask for a couple specific columns. So these are the names of all the columns. Sorry, they're also over here, but this is the column names. So if we think about what we want, we really just want the accounting period date and the voucher number, currency code, voucher remark, the source create user, and the voucher type.
So that's all we need. So this is our first query with just the select star for everything. But we're just going to change that to this here. So this is our new query. I've taken out the star and only have the column names in here that we want. So let's try to run this instead. I'll show you what happens. So remember, we have 1.17 million lines, and we're going to run it again. And we have the same number of rows, which is good. But we only have a couple columns of data, which is perfect. It's hopefully we've taken out enough columns that this file is much easier to work with. So let's see if we can download it now, and we can. So we can save this as anything we want. So that I just wanted to show you that this is kind of where the data comes from. This is where you would kind of retrieve it, and you do need to know a little bit about SQL to do that. And I hope to maybe make some some follow-up videos on how to use some common SQL queries for the data that you need. But yeah, for the purpose of this tutorial, I just wanted to show you that this is where the data came from, and we're not working with the live data. We can connect to the live data, but we're just grabbing a CSV, and that's where this file came from. So that's all it is, and yeah, it's 1.17 million lines in it. If you open in Excel, it's incredible. But yeah, that's where we're starting from. So that's all you need to know about the data. So yeah, go to the next video, and we will start. We'll make sure you have Power BI installed properly, and you can open it. Thank you.